Good morning, good morning. I'm your host, Hassan Aline.
Co-host Carl Williams.
And we're in Apartheid, Michigan,
Yeah,
Apartheid, Michigan.
Michigan, Apartheid, Detroit, and Apartheid, Michigan.
Don't forget about
Double
Apartheid,
whammy.
Flint.
Mm.
Only place in the world you can go and get poisoned by your own city water department. And them crazy folks up there, well, I guess they no crazier than the folks around here in Detroit. I'm talking about them city councilors. The judge told them, say, hey, we got to get this together. You got to take the water from Detroit. Flint isn't ready. Well, we don't know. It's going to be 3.5 years, and they don't know before they can get the plant ready. 3.5 years, ladies and gentlemen, for that Karagandhi water plant up there, everything to be ready so where they can drink the water or the
blended
Kool-Aid.
water at that.
Blended water.
not good, safe water, blended water.
And they act like they don't know what's going on, so it's a debate about it. Well, who's getting paid? Who's getting paid to keep you poisoned up there in Flint? Well, nobody's getting paid. So they just crazy. They don't like black folks. They don't like minorities. They don't like white folks. They don't like people, period. So they just going to poison everybody up there in Flint.
That's what it sounds like.
And the council is voting to do it. Isn't that something? Now, what about the debate? What did you think about the debate? Did you hear the debate?
I heard the debate. The debate was all right. You know, he brought out some things about what Duggan had done. And, you know, he took some jabs at Coleman. But, you know how TV2 is. They're going to always try to change the scenario. And they are saying that Duggan has won. So I've been hearing mixed reviews.
They always going to say the white man won.
Oh,
what are you
yeah.
talking about?
Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, look, anytime you pick, the television station picked your questions. There were no questions submitted from the audience.
Yeah.
They submitted their own questions that they want to be soft and nicey to Mike Duggan. They didn't. Colby Young brought it up.
Yeah, he brought up a few things out.
The people walking around here, the feds investigating Mike Duggan and all the problems Mike Duggan had when he go to DMC when he was Deputy Wayne County Executive. Well, you're supposed to bring it up.
Well, he remind me of Trump, really, because he sit right there just like Trump do.
Who does?
Duggan,
okay,
Mike Duggan. And he'll say, oh, I didn't say that, or that didn't happen.
Yeah,
you know, it was all in the paper about the bid rigging and a lot of other things that Coleman brought up was in the paper, and he stood right down to, oh, that never happened. That never happened. Nothing like that happened.
But what gets me, ladies and gentlemen, is you don't know how disrespectful this mayor is toward black folks.
Oh,
he
boy.
look you in your face and tell you, I'm not giving you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we were at a meeting. We didn't say that I don't know how many times on this station when Mike Duggan first got to be mayor. And his first, 90 days or something?
Yeah.
We went down to, meaning Carl and myself, we're in a
Welfare
community
Rights was
meeting.
there.
Maureen Taylor, she was there.
Alicia Bobs was there.
Reverend
Holly.
Harrison.
Yeah, Robert Harrison.
That ain't Robert House. We talking about our Harrison right here at the
At the
radio station. Yeah. He was there. So it was a community group. Community leaders were there. Mrs. Henderson, they call her Mother Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson Park over there on the north end. They had, who else? The Latino community was there. And the man said he wasn't giving out any contracts to blacks. He had his people. This is what Mike Duggan said.
Yeah.
He had his people, DMC, in Homeridge. So about 3 of them, he said, now that's disrespectful. You're going to say, well, y'all don't know nothing. I mean, when you say disrespectful, how was that disrespectful? Hey, the man is telling you, well, I'm not giving out any bids. I'm giving my people the contracts, and even though y'all voted me in, I'm not giving you any wrecking contracts. So there's $100 million from the federal government to tear down houses in Detroit from Livonia Mike, a mayor that parachuted in here, got here under questionable write-in circumstances, and saying, I'm not going to give it to you. And I said, well, wait a minute. You can give them, how come you can't? They were doing it. You got over 30 black contractors that were tearing down the houses for years here in the city of Detroit. Well, I have my own people.
Yeah,
I said,
I'm
well,
bringing
what?
my own people
I'm
in.
bringing my own people. I said, well, what about hand demolition? How you going to put, what are you going to do for these returning citizens and just people in the city of Detroit that don't have any jobs? They can do hand demolition. What do you mean hand demolition? And the guy want to say, oh, I never heard of that. White guy, oh, I never heard. I say, well, it's legal. They give out a permit for it. I didn't tell the man I was a former building inspector for the city of Detroit. I just looked at him. You know, so he just talk crazy to you. And he tell you to your face what
yeah,
he
yeah.
going to do. And he's told these preachers that he going to cut their water off after the election.
Oh boy, and they just
Huh?
I don't understand them.
Well, he didn't say it like that. He say, well, we're going to see about it after the election. Then the price is going up. We're going to slow down on the drainage fee. Is that what he's saying?
Well,
Yeah.
basically, but
Yeah.
see, here's the thing: they got leverage now. Why you gonna wait until you don't have no leverage to negotiate something or even talk about
Well, they
something?
don't know what leverage is. They got a
Oh,
stick in their hand.
let me. Okay, a
Y'all
stick
got
in
a stick to fight with.
the maybe they
Yeah?
understand
Maybe
that.
they understand that it's Halloween. Brooms have sticks. Take the broomstick. It's trick or treat time. And y'all don't realize. I mean, this is for real. They want to shut down and they just walking around half scared. We know you're scared because you wouldn't let women into your group of preachers. Council of Baptist preachers. Y'all didn't want women in there. A few years ago, you didn't have any preachers. When they tried to come in, you came up with all kind of excuses. Now you got one head of the Council of Baptist preachers. Now that this thing got hot and heavy in there on you, and you running hiding behind a skirt, hiding behind a dress, instead of getting up off your knees and fighting with her. You want her to carry the water. You want to blame the sister when it don't work out right. Well, she let it go down. How did she let it go down?
She just got there. What you been doing all this time?
And all you got to do is get your members to go out to vote. Vote this man out.
That's all simple. Simple.
But you would rather have your church closed down. Now, Carl, they're having Halloween parties in the churches. Churches gave out school bags for the back-to-school drive. Some of them feed the homeless. Some of them use their churches as warming shelters. Churches do some things good in the community.
Oh yeah, churches always have. The church used to be what you call your social service department.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
you go there, you get food, you get your clothing, you would get, money sometimes to help you with your rent or your different other utility. I mean, people have forgotten the part that the churches have played in the past.
Now, what happened to the prosperity teachers in the church?
Mm.
Oh, this prosperity. What
For
did the
who
man,
though?
What did the man call it? What was that book title? Was it Pimps in the Pulpit?
Oh, yeah.
Snakes in the Pulpit.
Snakes in the pulpit.
Oh, I know somebody in the
Pimps in the
pulpit. Well, hey, I got it wrong. Snakes in the pulpit.
Well, there was something out there about pimps in the pulpit, but I don't know if it was a book or an article.
But here's the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. On this prosperity teaching, they trying to tell you, follow me. Look, I got a nice home. I got a nice car. I guess you would have the same thing if you have 200 or 100 people donating their money to you every month. But he ain't going to be able to be, he's not going to have no prosperity teacher. There won't be any prosperity preacher unless he come down to the station and ask you to donate some money to him. Or that might be the next thing he's going to do. But look, they're going to shut the churches down over a bogus, lying, illegal drainage fee, as they call it, and you already paying for it. I don't know how many times we got to tell you the same thing.
That's all you got to do. Look at your water bill. It's on there.
You paying for sewage, you paying for the drainage already. You've been paying for it. You've been paying for it. They want you to pay twice. And then they're going to take it up triple what it is.
Yeah.
And y'all just can't understand why the white man did that to you. That's so
Oh, shit.
crazy. That is so ridiculous. So we've been saying 50% of the churches going to close in 2 years. The first year, hey, they gonna shut it off. This church is already when you ride around the city for sale signs.
Yeah.
The ones that don't have for sale signs are just closed. They can't handle it. The bill is unconscionable. And it's illegal to shut down a church for no reason because you don't like them. And the other thing, the main thing is a political base. You cannot get around the fact that black folks have organized in the churches.
That's
I
right.
didn't I didn't say all the churches now. No, it's never 100%.
Mm-mm.
Martin Luther King didn't have 100% support in the church. He didn't have 50% support.
No.
When he came to Detroit, the uppity up churches like Second Baptist told him, don't come there. No, you can't come and preach in our church. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was years before he could come. I wanted to ever let him come, frankly. That was when Reverend Franklin of New Bethel was taking him around to the different churches and letting him in his church and preaching with the regular folks, common folks.
Mm-hmm.
See, that was Reverend Franklin of New Bethel. They don't even talk about the man anymore. They don't talk about the man that organized the march in Detroit, 1963, before they had the march on Washington. Reverend C.L. Franklin, Aretha Franklin's father. Don't even talk about it.
No, man.
Don't even mention
Are you
it.
kidding?
They don't want to mention, so you can forget about somebody even remembering you, old school. You can forget about it. People got short memories. Very short memories. And if you're doing something right, they don't want to be shown up. They don't want somebody to say, well, why aren't you out here like C.L. Franklin, the Reverend C.L. Franklin? Why aren't you doing anything? Why don't you bringing somebody in here? Hey, Martin Luther King was controversial. Very, very controversial. What do you mean, Martin coming here, stirring up trouble, stirring up our colored folks? Want them to go out and vote. And so y'all sitting here comfortable, don't even want to vote.
Oh,
Preacher don't want to tell his people to get out and vote. And your church is going to be shut down. Your money's going to be cut off. And half of you don't even get a pension. Where you get a pension from? Where were you working from? Where were you working at? Did you work long enough to get a pension from some plant? I don't think so. That's one of the reasons the lawyers are so crooked around here in this town. They don't get a pension. I know you saying. I know what you're saying. Well, see, you need to get one of them old lawyers, 'cause they know what's going on. They didn't know to put money in the 401k. What do you mean they know what's going on? They didn't know to put money in the 401k for themselves.
anything else.
So they without a pension, and they going to jack you up every time you come in there, 'cause they need that money. And how come the lawyers around here aren't on this case? How come they not suing the city of Detroit Water Department? How come they not suing them over this illegal water fee? Uh-huh.
No, well,
Well, you know, huh?
the like you call them, these preachers and the lawyers, they don't understand what the law is. They never even ask about if there is a law or nothing.
Did you bring that case with you, that
Which
grief?
No, I don't. Not sure.
Well, we only had a copy of it, 2 page. They only gave us 2 pages of the brief that
Yeah, I didn't see the.
a coalition, I'm going to call it a coalition, but a group of, some of them were citizens around here in Detroit. There was a church that's suing over the water fee. and some business folks are suing over the water bill. And so somebody is doing something, and they got the people, the lawyers, that sued Lansing. So that ought to be a cakewalk. But I found it kind of strange that well, we don't have a whole
Mm.
brief to see what they're saying, but they filed for an injunction.
Yeah, here it is.
No case number.
No case number. Detroit Alliance Against Rain Tax, a voluntary incorporated association, and Galilee Missionary Baptist Church, Dante Furniture Company, a Michigan corporation, Central Avenue Auto Parts Incorporation, a Michigan corporation, and Judith Sales individuals on the behalf of similar situated persons. So it's not just the church. It's a couple of other.
Yeah, I said a coalition
Yeah.
of folks. They. What did we think? The church was gonna go by themselves? So
Not me.
somebody has filed against who they got down in the city of Detroit.
City of Detroit and municipal corporation, the Detroit Water and Sewage Department, and the Detroit Board of Water Commissioners.
Now that's the lawyer, isn't that Baker? To see what's his name is down
They
there.
got Frederick M. Baker Jr. and Frederick, well, the same thing, Frederick M. Baker Jr. P. LLC, and then they got his number.
Are they asking for an injunction down there? Read, skip down there. Maybe it's on the next page.
I don't see no.
Go to the next page. See up at the top.
It's a class action complaint for declaratory and other relief pursuant to the Hitley Amendment.
So they
they
filed
left it
under
open.
the Henley Amendment, and they did file it in what court was that? Was that the appeals court?
This is they got Court of Appeals.
So they went to the right court. So we have lawyers that's representing the black folks in the city go to the wrong court. So they are in the right court. Henley Amendment lawsuits are to be filed in the Court of Appeals. Somebody asked for adjunctive relief.
Well, they left it open if they didn't, because they said in other relief, but I don't see anything mentioned about
Okay.
injunction with the few pages that I got.
Well, no wonder we didn't get it because they had the 4 steps for the injunction, but I don't know why they didn't put that on there to stop the water shutoffs. The injunction would stop
Yeah,
it.
right now.
Yeah. Okay, we got a caller on the line. Caller, go right ahead.
Oh, good afternoon. Good morning, gentlemen. Great show. Great
Good
show.
morning.
Good morning, Dee Dee.
2 things right quick. One, didn't Jones Day call Duggan a political hack and a liar?
He sure did.
Yep.
He sure did. And a lot of folks, he was talking about so Coleman Young was lying when he was the one lying. Jones Day, everybody remember that now that you said it, that Jones Day said to, matter of
They
fact,
wrote a letter.
they wrote
letter.
was it 15 pages or something? That the
Something
man
like that.
was lying, and if he didn't shut up and stop lying on him about he didn't know about the money, and he was there. We've been telling you, Mike Duggan been there all the time, is aware of what's going on with that bankruptcy. He just tell y'all that crazy stuff. He lying to you. And Joe Bay told him to shut up, and if he don't shut up and stop all that lying, then we're going to sue him.
That's right.
And he got real quiet after that. Real quiet. So they didn't answer him that question there.
Second thing, Coleman Young's going to have a taking back the motherland. Take back the motherland. The motherland being Detroit. This is our city.
Yeah,
Why
Rally.
are we sitting back, letting folks come in, saying to us at the last freaking minute, oh, we're going to build this neighborhood up over here on Livernois and 6 Mile and put $6 million in it at the last minute, and these people sit back and accept this?
They're not building the neighborhood up. They're supposed to put some kind of park over there. A garden and a
Exactly.
park over there. How's that building up? They
And
done
a
tore your
farm.
house down. They done tore the houses out. They don't want you there. They don't want
They
you
were
to
going to
come
tear
back
all the
over there.
houses down, and a woman had to go to war with them about keeping that 100 houses that they're going to revitalize. Okay, that wasn't in their plans.
What they plan is to get rid of black folks by any means
Means
necessary.
necessary.
That's the plan. They could care
Well,
less.
it's going to be next Monday. The rally is going to be next Monday from 6 to 8 at Solomon's Temple, and that's at 2426 East 7 Mile, and that's near between DeQuinder and Conant.
And Conan.
Yeah, 2426 East 7 Mile, and we need everyone to come out and show support and put some fire under this election, and we got to get
What time?
Between 6 and 8 p.m.
Solomon's Temple.
Solomon's Temple
Solomon's
between
Temple
6 and
on
8.
East 7 Mile.
24
Oh, the zip code is
267
4.
East
Yeah,
7
go
Mile.
ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
2426 East 7 Mile. Solomon Temple.
Yeah, right off the freeway. Right off the freeway, the
Mhm.
I-75.
Between Conan and DeQuinlan.
48234, the zip code. If you got a put it on your GPS. And I just want, okay, I'm going to let you guys get back to the show, but I just want everybody to, please spread the word.
This is
And
a
tell
this is
folks
a
there's
rally
no
for Coleman
charge.
Young.
There's no charge.
This is a rally for Coleman Young.
A rally for Coleman Young. They're going to have refreshments. It says, and you can even register for tickets on Eventbrite. It's not necessary, but you can register on Eventbrite for tickets, as many as you need.
Well, all right.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's amazing, though, how they just, I don't know, the preachers just they don't want to save themselves. How they going to help us? How they going to help you?
That's
They don't even
a
want to
fact.
save themselves.
That
They-
is a fact.
They walking around, crawling around on their knees, and they don't even have knee pads. If you don't be on your knees, how come they don't have knee pads? You know, you can support whoever you want to support, but when a man tell you he put you out of business, that should tell you who to support.
Yeah. That's the no-brainer, like they say. Man, he done told you. Well, all you got to do is look what he has done. He hasn't did anything to benefit the community, and he's divided the community up. He talks about downtown and midtown. When the Coleman Young Sr. was mayor, the city wasn't divided. Matter of fact, he included the neighborhoods in the advancement of the city of Detroit because they had a big hoodoo about all these contractors coming in, and he said that, okay, if you coming into Detroit, you could come in, and he issued a Executive Order 22, which means that they had to have residents from the city of Detroit working on whatever crew that they had.
Well, that was Mayor Coleman Young, right?
Yeah, Mayor Coleman Young,
Mayor,
Senior.
Mayor Duggan don't want to enforce the ordinance.
He act like it don't exist. He
That's
won't
right.
even mention it.
That's right. He always talk about what somebody else doing for the city jobs or the people in the city instead of him giving them 10,000 jobs. How come he can never say, oh, we put 10,000 people to work in the city of Detroit.
Yeah,
We
his
put
people.
10,000 Detroiters to work for the city of Detroit. He won't say all that, will he?
No, because he's not doing nothing for the city of Detroit. Livonia Mike is only for Livonia.
Man, it's something else.
He's not really for the city of Detroit, and that's all you got to do is look at his action. Anytime there's something that's benefit the city of Detroit, any money coming from the federal government for the city of Detroit, like them not loans, but grants, you didn't hear him supporting. You didn't hear him going to Lansing or to the federal government trying to get more. He opposed it. Matter of fact, he went and supported loans. He wanted you to get loans. Now, I mean, you got to look at who would benefit from him getting loans. The banks, the mortgage company. These are the people, businesses, big businesses would benefit. So, Duggan, He's just he's a Republican in Democratic clothing. That's what he is. That's why he always tell you he could get along with the
Snyder, Gangster
Snyder,
Snyder.
Gangster Snyder, very well. What he's really saying, I can get along with the Republicans very well. You never hear him say anything about Democrats, do you? So I mean, you got to watch what the man does and what he says. Very careful, cause he'll tell you who he is.
Well, they didn't hear him. They're not listening to him.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh yeah, they didn't believe what they heard. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning.
Good
Good
morning. How
morning.
you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. The engineer must turn that volume up because the people can't hear the program. It's the volume is too low.
Can you
And
turn the volume up, Mr. Engineer? Okay.
Now, hey, Hassan and Carl, let everybody know I'm going to follow your show today. And we're going to talk about the same thing, Mr. Duggan.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all doing a good job.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, now.
Well, we supposed to stay on to 10:30.
Hello, caller. You're on the
how you
air.
doing?
Caller,
Hello.
you're on.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm okay. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I listened to your show. I was enjoying your show, and you hit it on the head when you said that as far as grants concerns in the city of Detroit, Duggan, make sure we don't have those, don't benefit from those. I had a senior that wanted to get a roofing done about a year and a half ago when Duggan was talking about we got grants for senior citizen home improvement and all this kind of stuff. And then later on changed it to low interest rate loans. And she asked me to check on it for her. And when I did, it was a low interest rate loan. You had to have pretty decent credit. And then they would have somebody come out and estimate your home, your roofing, and they would do the work. They had a pool of people that they wanted to do the work, and she already had in mind who she wanted to do the roofing on her home. And she said she got to pay. She's going to pay for the people she wants, not what they want.
So, in other words, she couldn't pick who she want to work on her house. She had to take whoever he choose. He was going to choose who was going to work on her house.
That's right. And matter of fact, the young man that she wanted to do it, his father put a roof on the house 30 years ago. And the young man took over the business. And they've been in business all this time, black company. And they have their own pool. Doug and them had their own pool to get his friends and family rich. And she said that the heck with it, she won't even use it. She'll just pay the guy and get it done.
Yeah, she was paying for it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no gift.
And at least she was able to pick out who she wanted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See
All
that?
right.
That just shows the kind of attitude that this mayor has. He act like this is
His money.
I was gonna say slave
Yeah,
mentality.
and it's amazing because they was talking about the grant money, and I've studied grant money. Grant money, you can't use grant money in the way you feel like. You got to use grant money from what it's supposed, what the purpose is, to improve the situation.
Well, you're right, but they're
You're
not.
right.
They're not talking to him. They're not doing anything about it.
No,
They're
no,
letting
they
him
should
go.
not. And this guy gets a pass, man. I'm sick of this guy, and I'm sick of people that follows blindly. No, they don't follow blindly. They getting a little trinkets here and there, and I love to see Coleman beat them and cut off that money supply.
Well, they the people that's jumping up and down for Mike Duggan now, they won't be around. You won't see them around the next 4 years. He's gonna get rid of them, put his people in there.
Well, in a way, I kind of hope so. If that's the case, because how many times I don't know. I just feel like when you can't see the trees, the forest for the trees, you got an issue.
Right.
All right, you guys have a good day.
You too,
You
now.
too.
Goodbye.
we got another call. Caller, you on the air?
Hey, good morning, Hassan and Carl. This is Deputy Chief. How you guys doing?
I'm all
All
right,
right.
Reggie. What about yourself?
I'm doing good. Hey, look, just like the last caller said, Mike Duggan, in a situation like that, Mike Duggan, he already have people that he wants to repair the home. Those are the folks that support his campaign. He's been like that for 30 years. Okay, that's been his MO, if you will. And you know, you guys have heard me tell you before that this Duggan guy is a liar, poor administrative manager, and leader. And so now, when you look at his, he bragged about his 30-year political career. That 30-year political career is full of corruption and kickback schemes. When Senator Young brought it up about the DMC had to pay the $30 million penalty to the federal government, according to the Department of Justice, and you can pull it up on their website, where Duggan said there was no criminality, or criminality rather, the federal government charged them with the false violation of the False Claims Act, the Anti-Kickback Statute, the Stark Statute, and where criminality come in, it's fraud and white-collar crime. Now, you got a prosecutor saying, a former prosecutor saying that there is no criminality. Well, like I say, when you Google False Claims Act, the Anti-Kickback Statute, and the Stark Statute, it clearly says it's a criminal act, and like I said, it's white-collar crime. So there has to be consequences against these folks that back Mike Duggan. Okay, however this election turn out, there has to be consequences, because there's no way you can have so-called community leaders, preachers, and what have you get behind this guy and then turn around after the election and they're against the people, and they know doggone well this mayor is against the interests of the people. And then they turn around after the election talking about we need to come together. We must come together. Lift every voice and sing, and all this other nonsense. What race of people do you know in their right mind side with a collaborator or a sellout or turncoat? Nobody. What race of people do you know side with a carpetbagger that come into their city or a community and create a situation where that they put their children and grandchildren in debt for 35 years? Nobody. That do not happen anywhere except in America, in the black community, especially Detroit. And that's what has happened here. So,
All right. We appreciate that, Reggie.
Yep.
All right, Tyrone's coming on today, right?
I don't know. Well, I
said
guess
no.
that yeah he will, but I had told him we were gonna be on in half an
Yeah.
hour, so I don't know. If he come in, he'll be on
It's
after
10:30.
us.
After us. It'll be at about 10:30. We going to 10:30 today, ladies and gentlemen. So stick and stay. Don't go away. So, most people don't realize, especially the preachers, that the object on this illegal drainage fee, which is not a drainage fee, is you're paying twice for the sewage. And your parking lot is hooked up to the sewage. We just said that 100 times. And you want to believe your police, Gary Brown, don't know anything about the sewage, nothing about construction. And Mike Duggan, all he knows how to steal and talk fast and talk out of both sides of his mouth. That's all he does. As long as he come up with the money, that's his idea. The churches have been a place that you could go and organize. So now these politicians do not want to have to come to the black folks and have any compromise. They don't want to have to divide up things in the city of Detroit for the blacks. They don't want to have to give us anything. So what do they say? How can we do this? How can we keep them out of power? Get rid of the churches. Get rid of their organizational base. Two bases, the union and the churches.
That's
And
right.
they wiping the unions out. They wiping the unions out. So what I tell you? They think they're going to be here. But evidently they don't understand the strategy of the warfare. It's no divide up the goodies for us. If you're a Detroiter, then there's nothing for you. We want you to go. That's Mike Duggan's philosophy. And you're going to say, well, how's that his philosophy? Because that's what he's doing.
That's right.
Forget about what the man said. Look at what he's doing. Now you can go on the Joe Louis Trail, the Joe Louis Walkway. What kind of crazy mess is that? They ought to name Cobo Hall Joe Louis.
That's right.
Since they want to take down all the statues and anything with the brown bomber on it, they want to regulate us to somebody feet walking over you every day. A trail, a road. Come on now. The man was more than a road or a street.
Now you know what that you mentioned that now that they always talking about how great Coleman Young Sr. was. They even said that he was one of the greatest mayors that it is. But don't you find it strange that great as they say he is, they trying to get rid of everything that resembles no statues, everything that has Coleman Young Sr.'s name on it, they trying to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna take it off the building when they get back in there again.
So that lets you know what's going on with this administration. A man as great as he was, you should see all kind of statues and what they call them plaques. They don't even have a plaque.
Well, I guess they'll fight. They get back because you're talking about taking down the white monuments and statues in the
Yeah.
South. Now they were doing that before.
They were
then.
doing it before then.
They were doing that before. As soon as the white folks come in there, they said, we got to get rid of these black folks. We got to get rid of the Milliner Center. We got to put that in another name now. We got to get rid of Joe Louis Arena. We got to call that something else.
Anything but black.
Huh?
Anything but Joe Louis.
So nobody black did anything in the city of Detroit. That's what they want to say. They want to say they were here all the time and what they did.
Better look at it.
They don't want to see nothing. They blinded by the white. What they looking at? They blinded by the white, not the light, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't say the light. We talking about the white, the blue-eyed white man. He's blinded there, but they can't see for
Can't
that.
see.
Can't see at all. Look at the people on. How come there's only one church on this lawsuit for the water? How come there's only one church on the lawsuit to fight for the water? Something wrong with that picture.
Half of them on there should be churches.
Carla, you on the line.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay,
All
yourself.
I enjoy your show. When I do believe when McNair came in, he brought a lot of those Wayne County folks with him. And I don't know how favor a lot of them was of how Coleman Young ran the city. So, I sort of look at that. I'd say, with that Wayne County bunch coming with him, I just don't feel like they, see the same agenda for the city that
Coleman Young has. So that's one comment I wanted to put in this morning. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you for making it here.
Yeah.
The Wayne County bunch came from Livonia. Robert Ficano, the
Cano,
sheriff
yeah.
of Wayne County, came from Livonia. McNamara was mayor of Livonia. They turned around and got rid of Bill Lucas. They told Bill Lucas, the white folks told Bill Lucas how great he was. The Republicans got him to switch parties. He didn't want to be the Wayne County executive anymore. See, the first Wayne County executive was a black man named Bill Lucas.
Mm-hmm. People forgot about that.
And he was a former sheriff, or what is deputy sheriff?
Deputy sheriff, I believe.
And but anyway, he ran for governor. He got about 2 votes, him and his wife. I mean, they tricked him big time. Oh yeah, they stuck it to Bill Lucas big time. So this is what we see happening now. These folks that actually want to believe that Mike Duggan is here for him. Oh, when you get into politics, these politicians are running for office to make their communities better. Some of them are running to do that, and the other ones are running to get all the money or whatever they can for themselves. Simple as that. It ain't no big thing. They wanted to charge former Mayor Coleman Young about that. Oh, he got to be stealing the money. Oh, he doing it. They never found it. He was there 30 years. Almost 30, wasn't it? 24, 30 years, 24 years. So, hey, he didn't steal any money. He was out. Former Mayor Coleman Young was about putting people to work, giving them jobs, letting them advance in the city, making the city better for everybody, black
That's
and
right.
white. That's what that's all about. And I'm gonna just say it like it is, cause the folks act like they crazy, and they want to play crazy, and they most, you know what? I'm gonna start with the police department. The colored boys on the police department would not be there for Mayor Coleman Young, or the women, and all these midgets walking around here on the police department. And they're not midgets, but they're short. They had a height requirement. If you weren't 5, 10 and a half, almost 6 feet, you could not be on the police department. They didn't care nothing about you having a degree. People didn't forgot about that.
Yeah, they didn't forget.
And when they get on the police
Most of them
department,
never
they'll
knew.
say, oh, I'm qualified. Oh, I got here by myself. Coleman didn't do anything for me. They lying. They just blind. They just blind. I don't care how many degrees you had. They wouldn't let you on the police department if you didn't come up with that height requirement. They had an Oriental guy always was stretching himself. Somebody said he hit himself in the head so that knot had grown in it and measure him in. All that old kind of crazy stuff. And he never did get on there. Now you got people that can't even, if they stand by the door, you can't even see them. Head won't go over the seat. Head will not go over the seat. Just that simple. So they don't want to talk about how they got to be on the Detroit police force. This crazy woman, this head of the state police department.
No.
Well, wait a minute. But she owes Coleman Young some gratitude because she wouldn't be there because of the same thing, the height requirement.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be there if Coleman Young had the fault to get rid of the racism and allow women to get on the Detroit Police Department. Yeah, he fought for that. She didn't get on there by herself. We don't do anything by ourselves. Matter of fact, we didn't even make ourselves. So how you know what I'm saying? Somebody there was a trailblazer that blazed the trail before us. Somebody came before us. Normally it's your mother and father, but there's somebody out here that were doing things that we didn't know about, raising holy hell on these jobs. There was a lot of women around here protesting.
Yeah.
Irma Henderson had a Women for Equal Justice Council where they organized a lot of different women. And when she got elected, she pulled Mary Ann Mahaffey in. Now, that was a white woman that was teaching at Wayne State University.
Mm-hmm.
And I know maybe you don't know that, but they were together back then.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was a coalition of folks that knew they were on the outside. Even when Mayor Kavanaugh, he was elected with black folks in a coalition. Now, we all know if we agree with the election of Mike Duggan or not, as a write-in candidate, we figured it was some hanky-panky. But there were still black folks voting for it. Now, that looks crazy. Now, why
Yeah,
are we
sure
voting
do.
for him like
Look
we can't
insane.
find anybody? You got kids and grandchildren you put through college, and ain't none of them worth a hoot. That's what you're saying. Even though they went to college, got a degree, got a master's degree, some of them got a PhD, as Malcolm X asked us, what do they call a black man with a PhD? The N-word. He's an N-word with a PhD. He's still one. We got to realize, why are the black folks so phony about it? Why are the black folks so phony about Coleman Alexander Young II running for mayor? Oh, I'm going to tell you, act like you white. The white folks don't want to see another Coleman Young. They're not thinking about you.
Please, you better believe it.
You really believe they got
terrified.
anything to say about this young man? That's Coleman Young's boy. Oh, the world must be coming to an end. That's the way they feel.
Mm-hmm.
If you heard his speech, you know he gonna talk up. He's not a wimp. You might have thought he was a wimp, but he's not.
Long ways from that.
And he got his father in him. You don't just look like him. He got a lot of his
The
daddy
fight.
in him. He
Got
got
that
that
fight
fight
in
in him. And you standing there with the white folks. Oh, we don't want it. We don't want no equality. Oh, man, you know how
Sick.
Coleman Young broke in there single-handedly, one person? One person integrated the police department without a federal court order. Am I missing something?
That's amazing.
Huh?
That's amazing.
I don't care where you go now in the state of Michigan, you see short people. You see, but they regular. Everybody can't be 6 or 7 feet. They're playing basketball. But you see an average person, 5 feet 10, 5'9", 5'7", on the police department. You see them 5'1", 5 feet, 4 feet 8 inches on the police department. Not only Detroit, you see them on the suburban police department. You see them in the suburbs.
That's right.
I'll say, well, I wonder who that guy gonna stump over the hill. They got a size 6 shoe, 7 shoe. You know, so one man changed the culture of the police department in the state of Michigan.
That they never want to give him credit for it.
And it wasn't, now that's one time, it wasn't a court order. Court didn't order the desegregation of the Detroit Police Department. Mayor Coleman Young did. And we want some fair treatment, we want some equal treatment, then we better go to the chip off the old block.
That's
we
right.
better vote for Coleman Young II.
That's right.
It ain't no need playing around. Y'all just act like you're crazy, like you don't know what happened. You don't have to be on the police department. Look at the fire department.
That's right.
Same thing. They just talk crazy to us like we don't know what's going on. That's what they talk. They just talk crazy. I don't know, half of these preachers must have just got here. They couldn't go downtown and do nothing until Coleman Young got there. The preachers
That's right.
didn't know what going down there being on the board. They got appointed to these different boards, library commissions, all kind of commissions downtown, the zoning commission. They got to put preachers. Never see the light of day. Didn't know nothing about it. Got appointed to the board. Got hip and started finding out something about politics and understanding how they needed their vote. They needed people to get out there to vote for a better quality of life in the city of Detroit. Carla, you on the air. Go ahead, Carla.
Caller, you on the air?
Well, Carla's back. Carla, you on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Right. You know, it's very sad that people don't educate to liberate. They're so stuck in the self-hate. You got your bobbin head, trick baby Negroes disrespecting and making negative statements about Coleman Young and his son, when, like you just stated, that if it wasn't for his father, a lot of youths wouldn't be in position. A lot of fairness wouldn't be going on right now. And so they're so into disrespecting and self-hating themselves to continue to make Mike's crimes go blind. You need to look up the looting of Detroit, the movie, because Mike is all in it. His footprints is all in the looting of Detroit. And you're so busy making his crimes go blind, his schemes, his scandals, his lies, his kickbacks, and his rig bidding, making all that go blind. You don't want to support your own people, but you supported J.F. Kennedy's legacy and family. All of a sudden, when it's a black legacy and family, you have a big issue and a big problem with it. I'll call that self-hate, bobbin head, trick baby Negroes. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for making it here. Carla, you on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
I was wondering, did you hear anything about a week and a half ago? Because I was told about it briefly, about the 4 or 5 white boys who threw the cinder block over the freeway and killed the black people in the car on the freeway, and they let them all go.
Well, I think they
Are people aware of that?
Well, I didn't hear they let them go. I heard they arraigned them, which may be the auto bond.
I was wondering what happened, if they went free or not, because I was told that they were released.
Yeah, on bond,
They
though.
on bond.
Mm-hmm. Now, if they had been black, they'd be in jail for murder.
Right.
And we all know it.
You're right.
Unequal justice. Whereas our preachers, I don't hear anything from the NAACP, and I want you to know I appreciate you guys and your program. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for making it here.
And I'm voting for Coleman Young, and I want people to know your absentee ballots do not count. You need to go to the polls. Also, they're going to probably need volunteers to count the ballots because they're proclaiming they don't have any monies for the votes to be counted.
That's
we need volunteers.
All righty.
And I'm going to volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to 10:30. We'll be
right.
here at 10:30. We're coming up on a break. Station identification.